All right. Who's here? Denmark. Denmark is in the house. We got a lot of friends in Denmark. Tamra, where are you? I was late. She was outside sunbathing and she said, send me a note when you're ready. I'm ready. Let's roll. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put on a little something. Oh, there she is. All right, we
Hi,
got
I
you.
was in the other room.
What's happening?
How are you?
How are you doing? I'm behind schedule. Typical life of a light worker, following the guidance, doing grid work, cars in the shop, got to leave for Sedona in 2 days, can't find the part, big long story.
Oh no, what kind of
So
car is it?
it's a 2003 Toyota Highlander.
Oh, those are so nice. Perfect
Yeah,
for
it's
the
cool.
area you live in.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't live there. We don't live here. We don't live anywhere.
You
That is
sound
our
like
home. So it
me.
is. Yeah. Where are you still in Mexico?
No, I'm in Florida. I'm expecting a granddaughter.
you're in you're in Mexico. I thought you were in Mexico. The last
I
time I talked
was.
to you, the
Yeah, I
last
was.
time I talked to you, hang on, we were supposed to do a show and you were laying on the beach with two cabana boys and you said, Todd, I cannot leave this beach.
Well, what can I say? They were hot.
So oh, what was I gonna ask you? Oh, so you're in Florida. We're gonna be in Florida.
Are you where? Come to St. Augustine,
Uh
oldest city in the United States. At least that's where I'm
I spent a,
at
I
anyway.
used to live there. I used to live in St. Johns County. I lived about 10 miles from St. Augustine Beach. I used to go all the time. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
think
be
I'm
on.
going to
We're
settle
gonna be on.
down here. We'll see. Because I
famous,
went through a
famous.
huge transformation last year, and I was
Yeah.
living in Oregon, took off, I pulled out of escrow, sold everything I owned, took off to Mexico for 3 months, then went to England for 6 months, went back to LA for a month, and then went back to Mexico for 3 months. And then I came here to Florida, and I just signed a year lease. So I'm going to be here for a while.
So you say.
Exactly.
This is the ascension, okay? Which means that everything is aligning or the truth is coming out.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think it's not going to be long before we see uh certain things that we've had in our lives, such as agreements signed, the money thing. I mean, I'm not a believer at all in the bailout or whatever they call it, the reset, financial reset. But things are changing.
Yeah.
Borders are going to drop. um I mean, we're talking about this is it, man. This is the big dance. So
It's the big wake
yeah,
up. That's why
yeah,
there's so many of us here, because
yeah.
it's the huge wake up on this planet. And it's so exciting, but there's so many division programs still out there that people are getting caught up in.
Good. Let's talk about that one. That's a good one. I think that is a very important one because, and one thing I would say, no matter what's discussed, because I know Tamra, she's just like got no filter. Just- but but we all know by now, having done inner work and shadow work, all of us, and gone through these energies coming down and dealing with them, it, it, we know one thing: if we can go through the BS, we can get to the gold. So whatever we
Yeah.
discuss, we're here to learn. But I'm with you. And it's interesting. I'm not saying it as a, oh, look at those people. I'm not saying like that. I'm looking at it as a dynamic of what we're going through and how I need to stay in the 0 point, but also
Yeah.
have a voice, I guess, so to speak,
Yes.
by the way you live your life and the energy that you carry with you,
Yeah.
including your words and such.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the way like it's happening everywhere, but it's happening like in these things closest to us. And sometimes you just want to, punch somebody in the eyes or wring their neck. You know what I mean? And you're like,
I
okay,
know, but
don't
it
do
doesn't do
that.
any good. They definitely can't hear you if you
No.
punch them in the eyes. But you've got to stand in your power, because
Well,
people
that's
run
and that's
all
what.
over
Yeah.
you if they think
Yeah.
you're all about peace, joy, and love and happiness. Yeah, I'm peace, love,
Yeah.
and joy and happiness, but trust me, I am not going to let you pull anything. I'm going to stand up for myself. And I'm
Well,
going to
this
stand.
is what I was talking about. There's the old thing that we don't do. You know, we joke about it. I'm joking about it because I haven't done it in months. I don't think. But anyway, we don't say that. I've gone through this period of the last few months where I don't say anything. I don't write back. I don't say anything. And
Yeah.
but now, especially coming from the women, which they've led the way the whole time, they're starting to say, "Hey, you know what? I need to speak my truth,
Yeah.
and I don't mean anything personal to anybody about it, but I need to speak my truth."
Yeah.
And it's being done in a way where it's not in that old pattern that we had. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah. You've got to speak your truth. It's time to quit hiding. It's time to be
Yeah.
real in who you are and quit being divided, because everything in this world wants to divide you, but we're going into oneness.
Yeah.
So,
That's
I
right.
mean, everything tries to divide you. I mean, as the simplest of politics, it's people, they try to divide you. Stop. We're about oneness. We're about what's good for this planet. We're about what's good for the people, and the religion and the spirituality. Oh, I'm religious, so I'm spiritual. Oh, you're bad. You're bad. Wait a minute.
Mm.
It's back to oneness.
Yeah.
Stop getting caught up in all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because when you do and you label yourself as something like that, then you're running all the subconscious programs of that label. Stop
Yeah.
labeling yourself as anything except a Soviet being of who you are. Be
Yeah.
who you are.
I am soul. Yeah. Preach it.
I'll keep going. I'm trying to be respectful here.
Well, but see, and this is where I'm at, like watching the whole thing from this chair I sit in. Thank you, universe. You know, so we all got this information. We got enough information to know what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it. We got it right, and we also got enough information to know what we need to do. And it seems like step up is the order of the day. Step up. Step up doesn't mean go punch someone between the eyes. It means
No, or
stand
fight.
up.
It's all about
Yeah,
peace, love,
stand.
joy, and happiness.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, unity consciousness is unity consciousness. Oneness is
Well,
oneness.
it is unity
And that,
consciousness. I mean,
yeah,
well, they try to keep us separate, but we talk about the oneness. All of our DNA is connected into what I like to call a mainframe computer to make it simple. Okay. We're all connected in this. So they say, you're all connected. You are. And your
yeah,
consciousness is creating the world you see outside of you. So if you don't like what you see, go in here, because this is where you are creating all of that.
yeah.
And don't think you don't have any power, because you're doing it. This is what you're doing. This is what you're creating. Now, it's not all your fault. I mean, because if you're familiar with hypnosis, 94 to 99% of our lives are ran by our subconscious programming. So it's also and wake up, that means be here now. That's what waking up means. That means be conscious creation. That doesn't mean being locked up in your subconscious programming, just doing whatever you do and having that monkey mind run your life, or beyond that, since we're all one and we're a collective consciousness and all of our DNA is like plugged into this supercomputer or the 50th dimension, the subconsciousness of the world, you're also plugged into that, which is running the world. So these are all old programs running the world. And we got to go, wait a minute, I don't want that program anymore. I don't want war anymore. I'm not interested in fighting. I disconnect from that. I see peace, love, joy, and happiness everywhere. And when you start consciously creating that, guess what happens? You
That's
unplug from
right,
that
man.
programming.
I refuse to participate. We don't have to participate. That is sovereignty. Sovereignty, you can claim your sovereignty in any dimension, any timeline, whenever you want, in a bad dream, in a good dream, whenever,
Yeah.
Period.
It is about
But
sovereignty. It's not about being
yeah,
one and we all look alike. I mean, we're as unique as a cell in the body. We're all unique, and we all have talents and we're all important. But you got to be conscious of what you're creating. But just like every cell in the body knows the information of every other cell in the body.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can
We
take one
can
cell
all
of the
tap.
body and know what's going on with the body. Well,
Yeah,
it's the
we can
same
tap
thing
in.
with the
That's right.
consciousness of humanity.
That's right.
And so if you want to create a world of abundance, if you want money, you got to work on your inner stuff. You got to work on your family stuff. And you got to work on your worthiness, because no matter how much money you create, if you haven't worked on your worthiness or your family stuff, you'll discreate it. Trust me, I've done it.
So
I
I
got
know, man, all the people.
huge.
I keep wondering why I look so old in the last 2 years, man. My hair's gone white. I mean, I can't even look at, I'm just like, put it in a ponytail and go. Don't even look. But because, that was a lot of work, and it's still a lot of work.
Oh,
It's
heck yeah.
it's always going to be there. Now, what do you think as far as your own experience now? Because there's another side to this. There's a side of people who are actively disengaging, following their own guidance, expanding the connection with their higher self or infinite intelligence, whatever, and doing crazy shit like you and like me and Morgan and like a lot of other people. And they're doing it, and it's not a fantasy. I mean, but it's like being in both worlds. You still got
Yeah.
to deal with some stuff,
Well,
and
that's what
we're
I mean. Be
learning.
here and now.
Yeah, and we're
But
learning how to do that. How have you dealt with since you sold everything and did all the stuff you did and ended up
left with
here?
two suitcases in a box.
That's what I
And
did.
I just had
That was
my car shipped out from California to here because my son's been driving it for the last 14 months. Where's the box? I walked out of that house with one box and some paintings. And trust me, I had stuff for 40 years. I used to be an antique dealer. You imagine all the stuff I had and carried around for all those years. Every single thing I owned fit in the back seat and the trunk of my Mercedes. So when the car came off the shipping truck, you could sit in both seats, and that is everything I owned. And I just moved in a house with nothing, so it's been a little expensive month.
so in
but
this circuit too, in this big circuit that you made, because you went to Europe, you went to Mexico, you went everywhere. But anyway, how did you deal with that 3D stuff when it came in? You know what I mean? Like I don't know, like a car breaking down, or just like stuff that would happen.
Everything's energy. Talk to your car. Tell it to find the part it needs and where is it.
That's true. You're absolutely right about that. That's how you handle it.
Everything is energy. Everything.
That's right.
I talk to my car. I have a beautiful car, but you know what? I never felt worthy of it. So I didn't really have it that long. My son drove my beautiful car, red, shiny Mercedes, for like 15 months. And I realized that I never felt worthy of the car. So I worked on myself so I felt worthy of the car. And now I'm so excited to have my car. So now I'm going to step out and go, hoo-hoo, check me out, my beautiful car. How's that for 3D?
We got a divine feminine on the prowl. With
Who, me?
Right, driving a big billboard. We're just gonna get it decaled.
But I felt like embarrassed. So again, I'm going back to subconscious programming.
Yeah.
Because as a child, I mean, I never had anything. I remember as a kid, there was nothing hanging in my closet. If I had a new dress, my grandmother made it for me. And when I went into junior high school, I remember at the beginning of school, my mom bought me 2 pairs of shoes. I had 2 pairs of shoes, not just one, but I had 2. And I was so excited to own 2 pairs of shoes. And then for years, of course, when I started making money myself, I had tons of shoes. But when I left Oregon, I gave it all away. And right now I have 4 pairs of shoes, hiking boots,
Yeah,
sandals.
I got. What do I got? I got two. I got two and a pair of slippers that my
Yeah,
friend
see,
sent me.
you're just living out of a suitcase. I just did that for 14, 15 months, and you
Mm.
learn so much.
I've been
It's
doing it
throwing me.
since.
Go down to
I've been
Mexico.
doing it. No,
I'll
man,
tell you where to go.
I'm not going
Go
there.
to Mexico. Do
If
you have
I
passports?
leave this country, I'm going. I'm going to Australia. I'm not going to go to Mexico. I've been to Mexico.
Oh
I
God,
lived
I
on the
love
border.
Mexico.
No,
Sitting on
Mexico's
the beach,
beautiful, man.
drinking coconut water out of the thing,
With the
having a
cabana,
massage.
with the two cabana boys. One's
Cabana
bringing you a drink,
boys.
and the other one. They take turns massaging you while the other one goes to get the drink. Uh, but seriously, it you know what? I know people might think this what I'm saying, I'm trying to make it sound easy. It's simple. It's not easy because
No,
of
it's
where
not
we're coming
easy.
at.
Yeah.
But it really is nothing more, nothing less than an energy game. And we basically compute, input the information from the command center, which is a replica of everyone, you know what I mean? And so it really is that. And when we can start to do that, and I think people are doing it, man, it's changing everything. The
Oh yeah,
telepathy, the
definitely.
dimensional experiences, the whole 9 yards. You know, I mean, it's changing. It's a game changer.
Well, it
But
is.
let me ask you one thing: Do you find the further that you become more adept at the energy game and this higher lifestyle, do you find that you're not as emotional, like
Oh
almost like
yeah,
emotionless? Like when people get really sad, you're not sad, and
yeah,
when people, you know what I mean? You're
yeah.
more of like just there's some. I'm not going to say
Even
emotions
kill,
taken out of it.
relax. Yeah.
Yeah,
I still take my
but it's
steps
yeah.
because people still try to walk on me. I had an experience with Airbnb, and I stood in my power, and I got my refund. You know, so I still take my steps. I still stay in my power, but I'm calm about it. And I know I just have to take my steps and everything will
Mm.
work out fine. And I trust that. And if people flip out, I just look at them. Okay. I don't flip out with them, but I'm definitely even killed, but I'm also happy and just
Yeah.
joyful all the time. I mean, I
Mm.
caught myself the other day walking through the grocery store. You know how they always play the music? It's kind of low. I'm like singing away, going through the store by myself,
See, they
And I
used to
don't
put
care
people
what
like
people
that.
think. And if you heard me sing, you would know I'm not a professional.
Yeah, you probably cleared the store. No, I'm kidding. Well, that
Well,
they
I,
used to
I
put
did have my
people.
mic turned off one time on a karaoke stage, in New Orleans, but that was, 25 years
What
ago, and
was
I
that?
was slightly drunk.
So they turned the mic off.
Oh yeah, we were
They
bad.
turned. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Orleans. New Orleans will do that to a person.
Oh yeah. And
Everybody
I was
loses.
young, so I was in
Yeah,
that
everybody loses their inhibitions in New Orleans, especially if you go down to Bourbon Street.
Well, I think this was on Bourbon Street.
Right. So yeah. I think that's one of the things people talk about. Like, why am I not being sad? Why am I not? But
Yeah.
I can say with us, like with us, and we talk about it a lot because this is the kind of information that I think it needs to get out there. To hell with all the disclosure stuff. What's going on? How can we take command of this thing and master this and become more masterful? And there's people doing it, through
That's
this. What you're,
the point.
yeah.
Quit getting caught up in the shiny objects
Hmm.
and master your life here. You are so used to getting caught up in the shiny objects and what's going on with this planet and this alien and that alien and the message from A. Michael. No. I mean, that's all cool.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be here now, right here, and consciously create the life you desire to live. And that's what I'm talking about, the division too. It's, it's look over here, look over here. No, 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 don't look anywhere. Go inside, connect, write your goals down, focus on them, sing, dance with them, get in that vibration of excitement, of creation. And you'll see how powerful you are. And be here now. We came to this planet to be here, to have this experience. We didn't come here to learn about all the aliens. We already know about all the aliens.
We
Our
are
higher
the aliens.
self, our true connection, but we're here to be here, to create. We are all creator masters.
That's right.
And trust me, there is a reincarnation line. If you don't get it, you're welcome to come back and try again. No judgment. But if you want to move beyond that reincarnation line, then you need to master your life here.
And even if there's not one, it just makes the most sense. It's not a burden, it's not a burden. And that's why I bring up the like with your traveling or my traveling the last 3 or 4 years, all these people, Vera and Augusti, they're doing they're doing it. There's some kind of magic in what these people are doing. And it's not painless, but it's getting easier, which means it's got to be getting easier for everybody, or at least that's available. The potential's there,
of course.
So there's something to it. It's almost like whatever's been done before, don't do it. This is fresh, new, really present. Really, it is.
Yeah.
Or you can say, if it makes sense, don't do it. If it doesn't make sense, do it. But you know what I mean? There's something, we're on to something.
Yeah.
We are all finding this out together. We're on to something, and you can't grab it and hold it and put, you know what I mean? It's not physical, but I have a feeling we're making it physical. And that's what's, to me, mind blowing.
That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be manifesting and creating here, making it physical. And if you really want to manifest something, you got to manifest it in the now, here on the planet. Bring it through all of your chakras.
Create it.
Create it. But in order to create it, you can't just create it up here. You got to create it through all of you. So imagine whatever you're thinking and whatever it is you want to create, that you can bring it all the way in through your chakras and plug it into planet Earth. It's very powerful. Very, very powerful. Because you can create anything you want.
That's right. That's right. And you look at just look at the Industrial Revolution was what, early 1900s.
Yeah.
And then 100 years later, you got an internet explosion, because really the web didn't really blow up big time until the first 10 years of this century, decade. But anyway, so now we're 20 years later. I mean, it's going to be mind blowing in 10 years.
Yeah.
It would blow our minds. It would blow our minds. We would have no capacity to even, there's no way. We're learning at the rate we were learning, and even faster when we were babies, because the younger you are, the more you take in, and we're actually reversing, we're actually learning at that rate, and even faster.
Yeah.
So who knows
how this and really we can reverse the aging process too. We just got to let go of all those belief systems.
I'm working on that one, but it's not working.
I'm starting on it too. It's like, all right, I don't like these little lines here.
Hey man, I know. And I was just getting the hang of it. And what's today? The 13th? Yeah. So 3 days ago, I had my first, I didn't have it, but I became a grandfather for the first time. I got 6 kids. So I was just getting that thing turned around, and then I got hit with the grandpa tag.
Yeah.
So
I've got a 9-year-old granddaughter, and I have one that's going to be born next week.
Right on. In St. Augustine.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
I have three
So are you in
grandbabies
St.
here.
Are you in St. August? Are you living in St. Augustine? Or are you
I
in one of the
am.
surrounding in
No,
St.
I'm
Augustine?
in
Oh,
St.
beautiful
Augustine.
place.
Yeah. I'm on the
Yeah.
island.
I always wanted to live there.
Yeah, you know where the river's behind you and you got the beach in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm
That's
at.
where you're
I'm
at.
in one of those
Yeah.
gorgeous neighborhoods with those huge old oak, those massive oak trees that
I'm
are like
so
8.
happy you're not suffering. I'm
Oh
so
God,
happy
no.
you're not suffering.
I live in a
You're
beautiful
going through.
home.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
behind me is like this little forest. It's only a couple blocks wide and long, but it's this forest of trees. And that's where my bedroom backs. It's like I could have,
Mm,
if I created this in my mind, exactly what I wanted, this
yeah.
is exactly what I would have created.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
That's
guess I
another thing too.
did.
People, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. People, they think somebody like you or me uh, says, okay, I'm just going to go see the world. And it doesn't work that way. It's not like that. It's a new math, and you're right. Like I just want some stability and be with Morgan. And next thing I know, I'm in Hawaii where I would never have gone, but I was told to go. I
Yeah.
was
Oh,
told
Hawaii's
to go.
magical.
And so here we are. We got a mountain 5 minutes away. We got a waterfall 3 blocks away. The beach
Yeah.
is a 5 minute drive. I mean, it's a mile away. And
Magical.
then you do that. Yeah, and you think, oh, I'm going to stay here. We're stable. We're barely making it because it's not cheap. I mean, we weren't spending that much, but you can't get a lot. That's the whole point. So for
Yeah.
a thousand
Yeah. I
dollars a
lived in
month, you're not gonna.
Ashland.
Yeah, Ashland.
Yeah.
We went through there. But what I'm saying is, it's like then we were told you got to go. You
Yeah.
got to go. You got to
Yeah.
go to the mainland. You got to go to California. We've been in a cabin for 5 weeks in the most incredible place you've ever seen. We got to go.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, wow. Are you in the trees?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're surrounded by mountains. We're in a river valley, and
It's
like,
beautiful there, isn't it?
mhm. Yeah,
I was
yeah,
there
it
for
is.
4 months. I thought I got to settle down there and I was told nope. Next thing I know, I'm packing up and flying off to Mexico.
You're kidding. Yeah, you sent me a note and you're like, come on by. And you're not even there.
Come on down. And then I
But
went off to England, and the next thing I know, I spent 6 months there. Next thing I know, I'm off to Mexico again.
mm,
So,
Mexico's good.
but
And so,
but every time we go to those places, we have work we're doing on the place
yeah,
with our
yeah,
own special energy and what the gifts we bring to the area. And then we also receive these gifts and these learnings before we go to the next place. And there's a lot of us working on the grid systems and working in these different areas. So I come, I do my work, and then the next thing I know, I'm off somewhere else doing something. But I did ask for stability for a little bit. I need to focus on my business and really focus on stuff. And I haven't been, because when I travel, it's like,
I
and
know.
Buddha told me many years ago when I was painting a picture of him, because my artwork it's simple, but it's energy art. And I always communicate with the master of who it is I'm painting. They tell me how to paint them. But he told me, just do the work, and no matter what, you'll always have the money to do what you need to do. And I always have. I don't have a lot of money in the bank, but anytime I need any money for anything, it's there. It
Yeah.
shows up. Somebody will come to my website and buy something, to give me
That's
the
how it
money.
works.
Well, you know what?
That's
And
how it
this is
works.
really how I've lived my life since 2009, when I left the working jobs and became self-employed. I've always had the money. I mean, when I went over to England in 2012, I had $200 in my account, and that was it. And I stayed there
Yeah.
for 8 months in between England and Italy and everything. And anytime I needed a flight or to pay rent or to get groceries, somebody would book a session with me, or a couple sessions. And I always had everything I needed, always. And I always have. you know, in the 10 years I've been self-employed.
Right on.
Yeah. Now I've had a lot more than I needed for a while. Don't have that now, but that's
That's
okay.
how it goes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how
I
it
still
goes.
have what I
That's
need.
well, and I think this is very common among people, like the people you're talking about. Uh, they seem to always have what they need, and that doesn't mean it's always easy. It may be easier for you, but there's still a little bit of that, you need this, you need that, whatever. But, they always have what they need, but they don't have like hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank or even tens of thousands. They don't have it. But then again, who does? Not too
Well,
many
but
people
see,
do
that's
these
one of
days.
the things with conscious creation is we can create that if that's truly what we want. You know, you've got to, if you're setting a goal and really wanting to do something, the goal's got to be for you and it's also got to be for humanity. Can't just be about humanity and it can't just be about you because neither
No.
one of them is going to get you motivated enough to really do anything about it. It's got to be, it's got to be a balance. You
Yeah, and
know,
the
I haven't
collaboration,
house.
the
I
cla-
almost bought a
the,
house in Oregon, but I haven't owned a house since 2012. I would like to buy a house. Not saying that I'm going to be in it all the time, but I would like to own a home again. So my goal is to create enough income and savings or whatever to buy a house. And I'd really
it,
like to just
it,
pay cash because I'm really done
is
with this
there,
debt thing.
well, that's what I was getting at. That's not real. Borders are not real. Ownership and possession
It's
is
still
not
not real.
real.
I know.
So no, I'm saying this not to be a devil's advocate at all. I've been down the same road and I
Yeah.
haven't owned a house in 20 years,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
haven't owned one in
but my,
7 years.
but my point is, to me, it seems to me that there's nothing in what we call the 3D. Okay. That's not real. There's nothing that we can take with us.
Well, of course,
Nothing we can take with us, whether it be how our relationships were, say, because most of our relationships in the old world were codependent, right? And whatever else, it could be relationships, could be laws, rules, borders, whatever the case is. But all of it has to. We can't take any of it with us. Now I'm
no.
sure we have time to do it, but that's the way I look at it. So I don't know. It's such a, you talk about being present. What one thing this lifestyle, if that's what you want to call it, has taught me, it's not even taught me, it just makes me present. I don't even have to try. It just makes me present. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want a hot dog, I'm going to go get a hot dog. Whatever the case is, but I'm present with it, you
Yeah.
know and and
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to be, and I'm not smart for being it. I'm just saying it forces me to be present.
Well, it definitely forces you to be present. But again, I think there's a balance in that too, because it's not about hoarding and having all this stuff, but it's also okay to have this stuff. It's not bad to not have it or have it. You know, neither
Yeah.
one is a judgment,
No.
but it's,
No. But
how do you feel and what is going to make you feel really good or do you
yeah.
need that stability? I have 3 grandkids in the area, so I would like that stability here. Not saying I'm going to stay here all the time, but it would be, and for now, for my family, it's good for me to have a place, you
Hmm.
know? So, and it's okay to have both. It's okay to have that
Yeah. Yeah.
total complete freedom and it's okay to
Yeah.
have stuff. But I'm going to go back to the stuff thing.
Hmm.
When I sold everything, I felt so free.
Yeah.
And the energy that all that stuff takes from you is unbelievable because when I let go of all that, I had zero regrets. I still have zero regrets. Now I'm having to buy some new stuff, but how much would it have cost me to store and ship?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's ridiculous. Why store anything?
So I guess the question is then, how do we do it? Because we are in transition. no doubt.
Well,
We're
definitely get a
blazing the
job
trail.
online because I have to work.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, and what I'm saying is, if we're here where we are, where we were where we were. We thought we had to do this. We thought we had to do that. Now we're in this space, which is the middle. And if we know the end is a pure quantum, intuitive, telepathic environment that I can only compare to dream state and dimension. That's it.
Right.
And in dream state and dimension, there's no ownership. There's no baggage. There's no stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can create whatever you want. You know
Right.
what I mean? You can create it right there. So to me, that's where I know we're headed. So my question is, how do you do it? I don't know. Every time I try to do it and try to
I
apply
don't think
any of
we're
the
quite
old
there yet.
way, well, we could
Just
be.
travel around the world for another year and a half, and then let's have this conversation. I'm not there yet either. I mean, I get people
I've been doing
speaking
it for I've
instantly.
been doing it for three I've been doing it for 3 years this time. So believe me. No, I agree, but I guess what I'm saying is, how fast can we go? It's like a fire, okay, like a ground fire. There's going to be little sparks that are going to spark it up, and those little sparks are going to tap into that unlimitedness, which means
Right.
instant, and all the other stuff goes with it. And then it catches like the 100th monkey and all that. I think we may have underestimated what we've done. I think that the
Yeah.
human race, the full consciousness has accelerated dramatically beyond that, because you know what, we've had quite a few channelers and intuitives, mediums, whatever, come on, and several times during transmissions they've all said that you guys have just killed it. You guys have like surpassed our expectations. We're sitting here going, how far are they going to go, because
Yeah.
of how fast they went and
Yeah.
what they've accomplished.
Yeah. And
So
we're
I
going to
mean,
keep doing that. We're going to keep going faster and faster and faster in our understanding and our knowledge of truly who we are, which are really incredible beings here on the planet, creating and ascending together, as a world. I mean, we are, we're definitely in the 5D now. And that's why all this havoc stuff's happening, because in 5D, you create so much faster than you did in 3D because those filters aren't there. But we're continuing and going into 60, and that is like this. When you talk about what you're saying right now, that's 60 stuff. That is like instant manifestation. Instant. As soon as you think it, you're there. I mean, I can do that in astral travel and stuff. I can go stand on the
yeah,
pyramids or go in
yeah,
Mexico and hang out with a friend of mine and watch the stars,
that's
and
how
have
I
the
saw you with
conversation
two.
later about
That's,
what the experience was and be right on the
yeah,
same page.
I mean, that's why I knew there was two Cabana boys there, not because you told me. No, but that's real too. I mean, and I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, okay, they were making posts about this should be in the headlines, this should be in the mainstream media, like, you know, like this, we've been reading about it on the internet 10, 15, 20 years, whatever the issue was, conspiracy and all that stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, man, there's people doing this and there's people doing that. There's people doing this and doing that. You know what I mean? All the stuff we talk about on this show, that's what should be in the headlines. That would be like the
Yeah, but we're
icing.
not there yet as a collective consciousness. There's still out. I mean, let's go back to 2014. I talked to Archangel Michael in Cornwall in this Archangel Michael church. He came to me and told me I would see world peace in my lifetime. And at that time, and that was only 5 years ago, it's like, how in the hell are we going to do this? How are we going to, I mean, because there's all this blah, 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 which they're doing now still. But now looking back 5 years ago, I went, we're going to do this. The energy from 5 years ago to now is so completely different. So different. People have seriously, like you're talking about waking up 100 years in 5 years. I mean, we have moved mountains
Yeah.
in the last 5 years. People, the masses are waking up, and the media and everybody else is trying so hard to keep people locked into the illusion that's just falling apart, and but they keep trying, and their
It's like
ratings
that
keep
movie.
falling because nobody's listening to them anymore. But there is still the sheeple that believe it. But
Well, it's like the Truman Show. Did you see that with
I
Jim
love the
Carrey?
Truman Show. I just saw it
The
again. I
Truman
watched it
Show.
next with a friend of mine. I said, "You've got to watch this because to me, this is what the planet's like."
We watched it like 3 nights ago, 4 nights ago.
Yeah, I watched
No,
it
I hadn't. I
about
hadn't.
3 weeks
I'd
ago.
never seen it. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like that's why I was saying that would be the icing on the cake because we're integrating the physical and non-physical, and they're made up of different frequencies or different streams. Let's just put it that way. And so in the physical, we can talk. Like if I come to your house, we can talk about it. We can put a group together. We can do a show like this, and put that transmission out there. And etherically, it has an impact. Obviously, everything we do does. But to see it on a I say let's create it. Fuck it. Let's create it.
But we
Let's
are.
just do it.
We
I know,
are.
but I'm saying well, yes, perfect example. So and now we're going to be conscious because we've learned in this
But we've
trip
got to
that
have that
this
group consciousness created because not one person
that's
has the total clarity of being able to create it. Like creating
that's
the
right.
pyramids, it was a group consciousness that did it, that was able to create it. And with that group consciousness, which we're all coming into, we're creating all this stuff. I mean, before you know it, we'll be doing what we were doing in Atlantis. Maybe a couple hundred more years, but we'll be there again. But this
Right.
time we're there with our heart connection also, because what they were missing then, I mean, they had the magic, but they didn't have the heart connection, and
Yeah.
we're getting the heart connection because that's really where we're going is the
Yeah.
heart connection. That's what we're learning right now, is to really be present, be kind, be loving, and love ourselves, but also love the world as ourselves and not be judgmental,
Yeah.
and that's where we're moving into. So the magic stuff, we can do it, and we're getting there. And as a group consciousness, we can create this stuff super fast. But it's important this time to have that heart healing first,
Mm.
so that we're creating out of love. And then that's the Garden of Eden, or heaven on earth, or whatever you want to call that, because that's what we're doing. And we're in the Garden of Eden, or heaven on earth. Everything is supplied for us. Our
That's
thoughts
right.
create instantly.
That's right.
So we're
It,
moving that way, but it's so important to be in that heart connection.
yeah.
That's the
Well,
where we're moving into.
absolutely.
So all that
Yeah.
stuff that doesn't make your heart sing, let go of it. If it doesn't serve you in kindness, love, joy, and happiness, why are you there? Why are you doing it?
Regardless of what it
Yeah,
is, it doesn't matter what it is.
doesn't
And you're
matter.
seeing a lot of people do. You're seeing a lot of people do that, walking away or being pushed away or whatever. It's the same thing, right?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Or getting
You
fired
know.
from a job. It's like, you don't get fired from a job, you fire yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
That's
you
right.
go through a divorce, you divorced yourself. If you're fighting with your spouse, you're fighting with yourself.
So let me, yeah, right on. So let me ask you a question. After
Sure.
all this time that you've been connecting, right? And then on this journey that you went on to cap it off, when you communicate, as you communicate every day, all day, uh, are you speaking to like one voice of the universe now? I mean, I'm talking about from your perspective or what you hear or see.
I
Or
don't
are
channel,
you
I am the channel. I've
right?
integrated all of
Yeah,
me.
that's what I mean.
I've collapsed all my timelines, all my parallel universes, and I have brought in the ascended master that I am. And it's
Hmm.
been a process. It's really taken like 14, 15 months for this process. But, and I had to integrate, sorry, mom, I had to integrate my galactic self. before I could integrate the master that I am, because of the vibrational differences. So it was a huge process.
I never heard anybody say that. Not that, because I mean, you know what I mean. But so you're saying that you had to pull in the galactic first in order to pull in the ascended, right?
Yeah.
Was there
Because of the
something that you
vibrational difference.
was there something that you pulled in before galactic from human I woke up or whatever to,
Oh man, I didn't think I was going to go down this road. Um, in 2012, when all of this started, when I got my first activations from Lord Metatron, I met Lord Metatron in the Akashic Records, and I received the gift that I bring to humanity now, which is deactivating programs, okay, and activating new programs. So it's like updating your PC and your computer. He, on a meditation, he took me to Arctus, and I met this being, and she says, "You and I are one," and it's like freaked me out, and I laughed. And then the next night I went into meditation, I was brought back to Arctus, and she says, "You and I are one." And I looked at her and went, wow, because her heart was so beautiful. And then in Egypt, she came to me and told me it was time to integrate her. She kept coming to me and telling me it was time to integrate her. And so in August last year in Oregon, I integrated her. And but really what I found out in August last year was there was actually 2 souls living in the vehicle and one left. And so I started the full integration. And then and it took a while. But it was nice because there was only one mind now, instead of a constant argument when I went to do the work. It's like, what are you doing? Or questioning. And so I integrated, and then just this week I've integrated completely and finished, and I saw more come in at that time that this happened. But I've integrated the ascended master that I am. It doesn't matter who I am. I am in Tamra's, this is me, because it's a higher aspect of this. I've got all the subconscious programming and everything, and I'm here. Do you understand? On the planet. So I am the channel. I do not channel. I am one mind.
I got you.
And
so,
my job is subconsciousness programming of the planet. That's what I'm working with.
Right.
Shift it and help people shift out of that. Again, that's why I say quit getting caught up in the shiny objects. You got to focus on your life here now. I just did 30 private sessions in 3 days. Okay, maybe a little more. And 80% of those private sessions all needed healthy boundaries, family relationships, inner child healing. They needed the core software changed so that they could really create what they want to. And we've got, as a PC, if you want to update your processing or your software, you've got to let go of the old software. You know what I mean? And that's what I do with people. You can go do it on your own, or you can connect with somebody like me or one of the practitioners or teachers in sacred activations. And so it's all about being here now. It's all about being here now. We are creators, and we all have this aspect of us that we can bring in these timelines. We can bring in these parallel universes. And when I talk about being one, we have to become one with ourselves. Because if there's no time, and you say you've lived 1,000 lives, that means you're living them all at the same time. So how are you going to be present and be here now if you're living all these multiple lifetimes at the same time, or on these multi-dimensions?
That's where I was heading
now.
That's where I was heading with that when I was asking you that. So where I was heading was from a what? From the conscious collective or partial or collective, from the consciousness that has remained from the day you were born. Let's put it that way. How you see things, right? So if you look at you know, pre 2012, we can all identify with that. We know what that was like.
Yeah.
Now where you're at now, what does that feel like? I mean, what does that feel like? That's what I'm really getting to. It's like as you go through and navigate the day, uh, do you feel like Tamra? Do you
Yeah.
feel like I'm my higher self, or do you feel so present that you're just Tamra? Not just,
I'm
but
just
you know,
Tamra. That's who I
see,
am. I'm just
that's
Tamra.
what.
I'm not all over
Yeah,
the place.
yeah,
I have all this subconscious programming that I work on, and to shift out of me in the subconsciousness. And when I do that, of course, it helps the whole consciousness of the planet,
yeah.
you know? And again, I'm not the only one doing this. There's a lot of us that have integrated our whole selves, but I'm Tamra. I am not somebody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
I am Tamra. And I
I'm
have
Todd.
all
Nice to meet
Tamras
you.
or my subconscious programming, but I've integrated myself, and I'm so much more in my power of calmness, of knowing, of connection. And I don't go out there asking. All the answers are in here. They're not out
Wow.
there. Somebody's
That's a
not
good.
telling me what to say, what to think, how to act. I already know in my heart, and I hear it inside of me because I am whole. I am not scattered. So when people are channeling, they're channeling their higher selves.
Of course. Yeah.
Or
Of course.
the, I mean, because really we're all one, and every master shows
It's an
up is
yeah.
really
It's an
just you
aspect. Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah. The genealogy. There's only one tree. You know, but it's
Exactly.
yeah. You know, and I've noticed this too. Now, I'm visual when we connect at night. She usually closes her eyes. I keep mine open most of the time. And I've noticed that as we're connecting, the visuals aren't coming in. Like I'm not seeing apparitions. All right. I'm not seeing energy. Now it's happened a couple times in say the last 30 days. And that's been very recent, but it was the 11/11 and full moon. Right. So seeing a white dragon and an army of dragons, and you know, it was very symbolic
Yeah.
because I know that all the things that I've experienced, no matter how wild or how human, this is all me. It's all me.
It's
No
all
matter,
you.
you're me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, it's like,
We're
so
all mirroring each
I
other and
can,
learning from each other,
yeah,
but we're all the
yeah, I
same.
can, so I can see where you're going. Well, I can understand what you're describing. I'm not saying I'm there or anything. I'm not even comparing anything. I'm just saying, again, this is all new. It's
Yeah.
new. I mean, it may be old and all that, whatever, but it's new to us.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm looking for signs of what does that feel like?
Yeah.
What is that like?
Feels
What's the
whole, man.
experience like? Yeah.
Peace, love,
Yeah.
joy, and happiness, and contentment, and exactly with what's going on wherever I'm
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
And really, like I said, if I were to create the exact perfect house in the exact perfect location, it would be exactly where I'm at.
Yeah. Right on.
So again, we are creators, and we are creating that. And the more we stop scattering our energy everywhere and come into that wholeness, the
That's
more
very true.
powerful we become in creating the life and the world we desire. The world's not out there.
Mm-mm.
Everything is inside of you. So I don't have guides being channeled or anything. I am the channel. I have integrated all of me. I'm not living in past lives or future lives or on multi dimensions anymore. I'm living and I'm present right here on the planet.
Mm.
And I want to help other people do the same thing, because that's how we become one. completely become one, is we have to become one with ourselves. And we
Well,
have to, waking up doesn't mean waking up to all these cool things. Waking up means being present. Stop allowing the collective subconsciousness of humanity control your life and what you think and what you do and how you act, and allow that oneness. I'm getting a delivery. My dining room's here. And be in that oneness within you.
Yeah. Or you could just listen to yourself. That's another way. Listen to what you say, even when you think you're.
Doorbell's going to go in a second. Oh.
Yeah. All right. I got to go too. I got another show in 30 minutes. It's our hour is up. I was going to have you do something, but
I wanted to do something. I don't need to answer the door.
How long does it take? You good?
2 minutes.
Huh?
2 minutes. Let's do a 2-minute activation.
Oh, 2 minutes. Yeah.
Well, I did a post on Facebook about twin flames. Everybody's out there looking for their other half. You are your other half. You are whole. So I want to do the twin flame activation, which brings you into wholeness within you. There's plenty of soulmates to be with. Stop looking for your twin flame and be one within yourself. So that way you can find someone that you're compatible with and doesn't have to be that opposite of you or whatever you think a twin flame is. Okay. So all you have to do is go into your heart, close your eyes, and just relax. And I'm going to run an activation, which will bring you into that wholeness for that. And just allow that to go in. And you guys, I'm just going to do a little plug. If you want some help becoming totally whole, I have activations and stuff for that in programs to bring in all your power, just like I did. Thank you so much, Todd, for having me on. It was lovely to connect with you. I seriously wish we had 2 hours of being able to talk, because we've touched about this much.
Oh, I know. Oh, we can do it again. No, we had 4 today, and actually my internet went out. I thought it was going to be out. I thought all the shows were going to be canceled, but anyway, we got it back on. So we got another one.
Well, that means you needed rest. When I have somebody that screws up on their time, and we have to reschedule them, I'm all, thank you. Because I needed a break, you know, it's okay.
Well, like we got the note today, or I talked to the guys today, it's going to be a delay on getting the car fixed. And so I'm like, and we already, took care of the Sedona arrangement, and which was basically a gift. It's an Airbnb. We're just paying the cleaning fee. So
wow, that's a beautiful gift. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Beautiful lady. Huh?
Do you know Sheila Gale?
No.
She lives in Sedona. She's amazing. Have you been there? Do you want me to connect you with her?
Yeah, we've been there twice. Well, I've been there twice. Okay. Morgan, we just left there.
Okay, so you know what to do and where to go. Okay.
All right. You can put me in touch with whoever you want, because I just add them to the list because we're going to do something else over there.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's lovely.
Very cool.
Peace, love, joy, and happiness. Look forward to connecting with you again.
I'll see you again. And we'll be in Florida in January.
Okay, I'm here. So I
love saying
that room. Come stay with me.
I can go to my old house. It's right around the corner from you.
Yeah, and I'm a great cook, so come on over.
Right on. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the activation.